Okay, this is how we need to build our website. This is my spreadsheet. This is the master. This is the end result. All this data is going to come from here, these tabs. As you can see, the tabs are clearly named 1D, 2D, 1C, 2C, and so on. It goes here. 1D, 2D, 1C, 2C. So that's where these things go. And I've even gone through and marked for this particular, for these particular fields, what sheet or what tab to get the data from. To make it even easier for you to see, this B1 field here is green. So just get the data from here. Green. Yellow is this, B2. B2 is yellow, B2 is yellow, B2. I've named it and color-coded it so it's real clear as to where the data goes. Okay, so how do you get the data? All you do is get the user to give you their date of birth, and hour of birth. So we need 4 different fields: hour, date, month, and year of birth. And then we just calculate for the year of birth. They were born in 1986. Okay, cool. So let's go to year of birth, and this is year. So we need to get data from both of these sections. A goes, or 1A goes here at the top. 2A goes here at the bottom. It's really simple, except here's the confusing part. 1986. So let's look for 1986 in both of these tabs, 1 tab and 2 tabs, but we have to get the data from both of these tabs. Now we're in the 2A year tab, 1986. Let's look for 1986. 1986 is right, here. Where is it? Here it is, 1986. But although it's 1986, this starts at September 27th. This is when it starts. So now we have to go back to the original master and say, oh, this is 1986, July of 1986. So now we go back to 2A year, and when we go back here, since what we're looking for is July and this is September, so don't start with 1980. Where's 1986? Shit, here it is. 1986. You don't want this. What you need is 1985, because 1985 is where it starts. September, between 1985 September and 1986 September is 1986 July. So what we need to do is return fire snake. If someone enters 1986 July, we need to give them fire snake as the answer. Again, this is what the final result should look like, final readout should look like. When the user enters this, it should say fire snake right here. Anyway, this is where you get the data. So this would be the correct row to get the data from. Now, I told you that this should say fire snake, but I've got it in 2 columns. The only reason I have it in 2 columns is because it makes it easy for me to edit, because sometimes I have to change these. For the ease of programming, I should have turned this into just 1 column. It should just say fire snake, it should say fire goat, it should say metal monkey, it should say earth of rooster. But if I do that, it makes it real tough for me to edit these things. So on the final printout, or on the final result, just make it so that it's all just 1 word. Earth of rooster, metal dog, water pig, so on. And the same is true for value of 1A. Value of 1A says water, but let's see where we get that from. That comes from A1. It comes from this. So let's look at, again, 1986, July 1986, using this particular tab. Let's see what it says, July 1986. So July 1986, this is just in simple years. It skips a year. So 1986, where's 1986? Here it is. 1986, anything in 1986 is water, see? So I do need to make this more precise. Right now it's just too general, because a year is a long time. This should have month cutoffs. It should be, precision should be down to the month, but I don't have that kind of data yet. So for now, anything that's after 1986 and before 1988 should be all water. That makes sense, right? So this water field should go into here. Here, it says water. So it should be water on top of, what did we say? It was the, whatever that was down here. And then now we move on to the month. Is July. So now we move on to the month of July. This is a month and this is a month. We need data from both of these. We need data for both of these per month. This one's bigger. 1986. Let's look at July 1986. July 1986. Here it is. 1986, and then let's look at row 41, and let's look for July. Let's see, where's July? Here is July. July 1986 should be right here. Here it is, July 1986. But now this cuts off at July 21st. So now we have to go back to the birth date and see if July 21st was the cutoff or not. It's July 15th, but the cutoff was July 21st. So we need to go back to this and then say, this one. And say, no, instead of July 21, we had, what was it, July 15th or something? So then we use this date. So this should be all the way up 6. The month of June should be Earth of Fire. Or was it? Yeah, Earth of Fire. So this Earth of Fire should go into, when you go back down to here, should go into, ta-da, Earth of Fire. It should go into this field, and so on. So keep matching these. Now here's the problem. This particular tab I don't have done. This tab is not done. I have question marks here. This tab I don't know how to finish yet. So this is not done yet. And this tab is really simple, except we have to use a Moonrise API. The reason why we have to use this particular API is because when you were born, where was the month? Where was the moon? Where was the moon when you were born? Was the moon in the sky? Was the moon behind the earth? Was the moon at the sunset or moonset or moonrise? We have to know exactly where the moon was, where you were born, when you were born. And that's too much information. It's just too much information here. So we have to use this API.